Welcome back, everybody, here to Danville, West Virginia, as we get set for our C team matchup between Danville and Sherman. After the B team for Danville won 42-0 here earlier on homecoming, as a sweep to the outside. Nice cut up field, nice run out across the 45-yard line to the 46 for a first down. As Riker Belcher able to make the stop on the far side. He's trying to make out the number for Sherman on that run. And we saw the Sherman B team really struggle on the offensive side of the ball here earlier today, just having 2 first downs. And already the C team about halfway there after 1 play. The Sherman number is a little bit more difficult to make out, so we'll try and do our best from our vantage point. Now Sherman to the line of scrimmage here on 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line. So they'll hand it off out of the shotgun. Not a whole lot there this time, as looks like they'll give progress for about a 2-yard pickup that time. As Danville was able to get up and gain tackle. Now they're going to move the ball back a little, as it'll be 2nd down and 9 officially. And you do see coaches on the field trying to help direct traffic. Again, these are the youngest in all the divisions, the 6- and 7-year-olds, so this is more of a safety issue than anything else. As they fake the handoff, coming near side, getting away from one tackler, getting up to 45-50 down the near side. Good run here. Ball pops out, though, and looks like Danville may have recovered on the play, as Luke Henderson, the quarterback, had a great run and a first down, but it's going to go for naught. As the fumble recovered by the Hawks, and they'll take over now. 1st and 10 after the turnover, with 5:28 to go here in the first half. So 5:28 to go here in the first quarter. They'll spot the ball at the 40-yard line. Danville will get their first look at it here this afternoon. Belcher hands it off on first down, weaving his way through traffic, and getting through is Ratcliffe, as he's into Sherman territory and brought down at about the 40-yard line for a pickup of 20 on the play. Danville with their first offensive play of the afternoon. They break it across for 20 yards. Now they'll come to the line of scrimmage as Riker Belcher, named team MVP here at homecoming. So he'll hand it off to Cole Lovejoy. Lovejoy plows into the line and just moves the pile forward inside the 40, down to about the 37, maybe close to the 36-yard line. They'll spot him just inside the 37-yard line. stop play momentarily while the Sherman player gets his cleats tied. Again, we've got one more game coming your way this afternoon as well. It's the single A game between, or the A teams, I should say, between Danville and Sherman. We'll square off. Belcher gets the snap, hands it off, coming near side. Nice lane inside the 30, inside the 20, down the sideline. Foot race and brought down at the 5-yard line is Dawson Adkins. A big run for him. That sets up Danville now. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. They look to try and score the first points of this contest.
You know he would. I'm going to try to mean, but.
Now 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. 1st and goal. As Atkins will be the deep back. They'll give it to one of the up men. Looks to be Lovejoy, who fights his way down close to the 1-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and goal now for the Hawks. Now Atkins just 1 yard away from giving Danville the lead after the turnover by Sherman. It was a promising drive for the Tide, but the fumble upended those thoughts. The official trying to get one of the players in position on the Sherman side. Belcher now ready to go. He'll give it off up middle. Ratliff with it, dances around, goes into the line. Fights his way forward, and Ratliff is in. Touchdown, Danville, with 2:54 to go here in the opening quarter. So Ratliff got the drive started with a 20-yard run, and he finishes the drive with a 1-yard touchdown plunge. Hawks will go for 2. As taking the snap, fighting forward. It looks to be in. And Belcher is in. A 2-point conversion good for Danville. They now lead at 8-0 here in the first quarter. We'll be back after this as you're watching Danville Hawk Youth Football on Video Productions. Go ahead. 8-0, Danville leads it as Sherman gets the ball back here for their second possession. Rushing off the far side, quarterback keeper for about 4 yards as Henderson with the carry. Henderson was the one who had the carry, had the first down on the last drive, but just had the ball ripped out of his hands. Danville recovered the fumble and able to cap it off with that 1-yard touchdown run by Ratliff. Sherman huddling up near the goalpost almost as they get ready to come to the line of scrimmage now on 2nd down and 6. Henderson in the shotgun by himself. He'll keep it. Rushes up the middle as he'll pick up another couple yards. Let's make it 3rd and manageable now, about 3rd and 3 for the Tide. Getting C-team action, there is no punting. And we didn't see a punt in the first game. But in C-team, there is no punting. If they choose to try and give the ball over, then it's just a 30-yard flip and field position. If the team elects not to go for it on 4th down and punt. But in the B and A team divisions, they do have kickoffs and punts. Sherman trying to maintain this drive. They come to the line of scrimmage here, approaching 1 minute to go in the first quarter. Henderson this time will have some company in the backfield with him on this snap. He'll hand it off, coming near side, but nothing there, and this is going to get dropped for a big loss in the backfield. As coming up and making the hit was Asher Kingery, and that's going to bring up 4th down, and they're going to call it 7 now. And as we talked about in previous games with this Danville defense, it's hard to run east and west against them. But just because they pursue so well. And now 4th and 7. We'll see if Sherman just elects to take this to the second quarter and try and think about this 4th down call as they come to the line of scrimmage with 7 seconds left. We'll see if they're able to get the snap off or not with 2, with 1, and that will do it for the first quarter. So we'll step aside and we'll be back after this as you're watching Danville Hawk Youth Football right here on Video Productions. Start of quarter number 2 here in this C-team matchup for Danville and Sherman. This is 4th down and 7 now for the Tide, and they will go for it here as they go with a hard count and they get Danville to jump into the neutral zone. That'll add 5 cheap yards on now. So that'll make it 4th and 2 and a lot more manageable now for Sherman. Now the Tide come to the line of scrimmage, trying to keep this possession alive. Clock management and game management would be big for Sherman today after Danville marched down the field on their first drive. And now we get flags again. And this is going to be against Sherman, so that's going to negate the 5 yards they just picked up a moment ago. Both teams have basically done the cha-cha, up 5 yards and back 5 yards. Sherman will still go for it here on this 4th down and 7. Sherman lines up, Henderson in the shotgun. This time we do get the snap off as he'll run near side, trying to outrun a Hawk defender, able to do so at first, but can't outrun another as Lovejoy makes the stop just shy of the 1st down. They're going to spot it at about the 43-yard line, and Danville will take over after the turnover on downs. 2nd turnover they forced here today. Now here come the Hawks back onto the field. As Ratliff had the opening drive score from 1 yard out. After a big run by Dawsonak and set them up inside the 5-yard line. As Belcher fakes the handoff, he'll keep it off the left side. Ran into a few tied defenders and then broke free. Here he comes near side, inside the 20s, and a foot race to the corner. Belcher will win it. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown Danville.
Touchdown Hawks by number 14, Roger Belcher.
And what a run by Belcher that time. Again, looked to be walled off on the left side. And it looked like it was a play that was going to go for a loss. And instead, Belcher turns it into a zigzag touchdown run in just one play. So Sherman with scores on each of their first 2 drives now. And will go for 2 after they had a successful 2-point try earlier.
Well, I might announce them in the second half because my main goal is to get these out. They have 16.
See the coaches trying to position everyone the way they need to as big-time stacked formation here for Danville as Belcher will keep it. He rolls out, throws into the end zone and in and out of the hands of his intended man. So 2-pointer no good, but 14-0 Danville. As we'll be back after this. You're watching Danville Hawk Youth Football here on Video Productions. on 1st and 15 here for Danville, or Sherman rather. They hand it off up the middle. As false start to begin this drive. Knocked them back 5 yards, but they're able to get penalty yardage back and then some. At about the 37-yard line. So it'll be a 2nd down and 8 now. And Sherman has been able to move the ball a little on their first 2 drives. Were well on their way on the first drive before the fumble. And then on the last series, turned it over on downs as they'll keep it to the outside. Cohen Cantley tried to get to the edge, but he was swallowed up. So nowhere to go for Cantley, and now it's going to bring up 3rd down and long. Spotted officially at about the 36-yard line. Sherman needs to try and get something going on this series. Again, Sherman had the ball to begin the game. So Danville will have the ball to start the second half. Already, though, we've seen Danville move up and down the field on the first 2 series. Henderson will keep it, trying to get to the corner as it looked like a face mask on the outside there against Danville. And now Henderson goes down the sideline. He stays in bounds, and Henderson is going to take this all the way to the other side, and a touchdown for Sherman. As Water run by him. Again, the flag all the way back at the line of scrimmage, but this is going to stand as that face mask against Danville. That will give Sherman their first score of the day. And they were shut out in the B team game earlier, and now they get right back into this game on that long run by Henderson. Now Sherman looks to try and eat into that lead a little bit more here, trailing at 14-6. Sherman will line up again. Danville sideline signaling to look for the pass here. Instead, Sherman will keep it on the ground, but it's not going to go anywhere. There's no lane open for Van Noy that time, and 2-point conversion will fail. But they do get it back to a 1-possession game as Sherman gets in the end zone on the long run by Henderson. We'll be back after this as you're watching Danville Hawk Youth Football on Video Productions. Danville with the football now after the touchdown run by Henderson as they'll give it off to Ratliff. He gets spun around in the backfield, and he's going to get dropped finally after staying on his feet for several extra seconds, but goes down for a loss of 1 on the play. That'll make it 2nd down and 11. Sherman trying to change the momentum here at the end of this first half. We're about 4.5 minutes before halftime. It's been all Danville up until just the last moment or so. Now Sherman trying to see if they can find a way to get off the field against this Danville offense. It's on 2nd and 11. They'll give it off to Lovejoy. He comes near side. Lovejoy will turn the corner and breaks out of a tackle there. Stays in bounds down the sideline. He's in a foot race, and he's going to win it all the way to the end zone, and Danville gets that touchdown right back. It's just been bang, bang, bang here in this first half, back and forth between both sides. Right now, Sherman just has no answer for this rushing attack of Danville. It's now a 20-6 lead with the 2-point conversion to come here for Danville. They tried to pass to Tucker Lambert last time. It was there. Lambert just had it go right between his hands for an incompletion. This time they'll set up with Dawson Atkins as the deep back. A couple of backs up close. They give it a Radliff. Wow, what a cut by him as he cuts back inside, but they're going to say he did not get there. Tackled just shy of the end zone, and it'll be a 20-6 lead for Danville. We'll step aside and be back after this as you're watching Danville Hawk Youth Football on Video Productions. Danville leads it as Sherman with the ball back. Both teams exchanging touchdowns within about a 45-second span as Henderson tries to get outside for the play that worked for a touchdown earlier. Now he's just being grabbed onto by his feet, refusing to go down, but the officials now blow it dead. And that'll be a loss of about 5 on the play. As it brings up 2nd down and 15 here for the Tide. Down to 3:15 to go here before halftime. Well, it's been an exciting score fest so far here in the first half. Sherman right back where they were a moment ago. They trailed by 14 before the score. They trail by 14 now after Danville's most recent score. Trying to find some space off that left side, but once again just gobbled up. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 15 now. Danville would love to get another crack at the ball here before the end of the first half. Again, they get the ball back. Let's see if they get a 2-for-1. They get the ball to start the 3rd quarter, too. And both sides with all 3 timeouts still here, too. So if Danville gets a stop right here, wouldn't be surprised to see them go ahead and use one. Henderson will work out of the shotgun. He'll give it off far side, cutting up field, and a little bit of running room. Gets him out to about the 34-yard line for a gain of 4. And that's going to bring up 4th down and 11. As Danville signaling for time, and now that's granted to them with 1:25 left. So we'll step aside for a break and be back after this as you're watching Danville Hawk Youth Football on Video Productions. Now 4th down and 11 for Sherman as Danville uses their first time out of the half. And Sherman elects to go for it here. That's going to give Danville excellent field position if they come up with a stop. They elect not to try and punt it. Again, with the way Danville's offenses move the ball in the first half, it may not matter where they start from. They try and take it near side, but Henderson can't break free. And that'll be the 2nd turnover on downs in the half by Sherman. And now Danville will get the ball with 1:17 and 2 timeouts, so plenty of time for them to try and go down and score again. We see them do it in one play, a couple plays. The only drive that took a little bit of time was their first drive of the game where they went down and scored. It's much like the B team just struck quick and often in that 42-0 win earlier today. Belcher will go under center here on 1st down. He'll give it off. Trying to find an opening. Nothing there for Ratliff as he's going to go down for about a 1-yard loss on the play, and Danville will use their 2nd timeout. So we'll be back right after this timeout's finished as you are watching Danville Hawk Youth Football on Video Productions. On 2nd and 11, they'll rush to the outside as not a whole lot there for Adkins as we hit a minute to go in the first half. Danville still with 1 timeout left. They're going to save it right here in case they need it. They try and rush and get everyone set up. They get out of the huddle pretty quickly here. Belcher gets to the line of scrimmage. Bobble snap, able to get it. Belcher will keep it, takes it off the left end, cuts inside, found a little crease there, and gets a little something out of it. And now Danville will burn their final timeout as it'll be 4th down and about 2. So we'll be back with 4th down right after this as you're watching Hawk Football here on Video Productions. Now it's 4th and 2 here for Danville. 29 seconds left in the half. Belcher gives it off, coming near side. That'll be a first down, a little bit more. Cut back inside by Lovejoy. Breaks out of a tackle to the 10, the 5, and Lovejoy is in for the touchdown. What a run by Cole Lovejoy on 4th and 2. And that pushes the lead now to 26-6 with 19 seconds to go before halftime. Well, Lovejoy had the first down and then just pinballed off one man, broke out of another tackle, and then he was off to the races. So between the B team and the A team, or B team and C team today for Danville, they're now overall 10 for 10 on drives thus far. Again, the B team scored 6 touchdowns on 6 drives earlier today, and now it's 4 touchdowns and 4 drives for the C team. Rain beginning to fall here in Danville, West Virginia. We start to get a little bit overcast, and rain showing a lot in the forecast this week as Belcher, what a fake, what a move, and he's into the end zone. As Riker Belcher tacks on the 2-point conversion, and it's now a 28-6 lead for Danville, as Sherman will likely get one more snap off here before we head to halftime, and Danville gets the ball to start the third quarter as well. So they do get the 2-for-1 after they used their timeouts wisely, got the ball back, and then on that 4th and 2, after Sherman had a pretty good stand, the dam finally broke. And Sherman was able to get it into the end zone, and Danville leads it now by 22. So Sherman, they have all their timeouts, but unless they can break off a big play here, you'd imagine this will likely be the final play of the first half. This wind's starting to pick up a little now too down on the field and up here in the stands. Sherman will run it to the near side as Henderson, trying to get to the corner, is able to shake one man as he goes out of bounds just past the 45-yard line. And now Sherman will burn a timeout with 10 seconds to go in the half. We'll be back after this as you're watching Danville Hawk Youth Football on Video Productions. Be willing to go. Danville now with 10 seconds left in the half. On the first down run by Henderson. Have it out to the 45-yard line. As looks to keep it up the middle this time. Not a whole lot there, but it'll be about a 3-yard pickup. And Sherman will burn another timeout with 5 seconds to go. So we'll be right back here in just a moment on Video Productions. Sherman now with what could possibly be the last play of the half now as it's 2nd down and 7, 5 seconds to go. Henderson will take it outside, being pursued as the clock will hit triple zeros. Henderson trying to get down the sideline, and he does. And what a play here at the end of the half is Henderson able to break it again and punches in the touchdown. And just tough breakdown on defense by Danville that time, as you had to figure Henderson was going to try and get to that corner, and everyone from Danville just got sucked down inside that time, and Henderson was able to get to where he wanted to get to. So, good touchdown for Sherman to end the half, but that'll definitely be something for Danville to go into the half and talk about. They've given up 2 long touchdown runs to Henderson now. Sherman trying to cut this back to 14 on his 2-point try. Getting outside again is Henderson, and Henderson will get in once again. So basically the same play, and Danville unable to wall it off on either one. So it's 28-14 now as we finally reach halftime. We'll be back for the start of the 3rd quarter after this, as you're watching Danville Hawk Youth Football on Video Productions. Start of the third quarter as Danville will have the ball to start things, and Riker Belcher getting things off to a hot start as he breaks free, and Belcher in a foot race to the end zone being pursued from behind, and he's caught right at the 1 or 2 yard line. It may have been Henderson that chased him down. Basically start out the second half how we ended the first half, with more or less a track meet going on between these two sides. And they'll spot him at the 2. It's a 63-yard run for Belcher to open up the half. And now Danville looking to quickly retake that 3-touchdown lead that they lost on the last play of the first half. So he'll hand it off. Lovejoy will plow into the end zone, and it is back to a 3-touchdown lead at 34-14. So just 68 seconds and 2 plays. Danville back into a comfortable situation as these two teams just continue to trade touchdowns. So now Danville will go for 2 to try and extend the lead to 22. As Belcher will give it off as Atkins, they were a little slow getting that play going, and Atkins unable to get there. So no good on the 2, but it's a 20-point lead for Danville. We'll be back after this as you're watching Hawk football action on Video Productions. Sherman with the ball now for the first time in the second half as they'll hand it off. And nothing there. The loss on the play, and most every play's ended with the ball in the hands of Henderson. This time they tried to switch things up, and that'll be a loss of 2 on the carry. Sherman in position once again to have to try and answer. The touchdown from Danville. They've been able to, but each of the last 2 times. It's low snap this time. Lambert coming off the edge. Lambert made the hit, but still fighting forward, and that's going to get it Sherman back to about the original line of scrimmage here to make it 3rd and 10.
Tackled by Tucker Lambert, number 55 for Danville. 3rd and 10, Sherman.
So Tucker Lambert with the stop makes it 3rd and 10. This opening drive for Sherman, and more or less any stop right now is extremely detrimental to either side. But Sherman's not been able to stop Danville at all here this afternoon. 6 drives, 6 touchdowns in the B team game, and now it's 5 drives, 5 touchdowns here in the C team game. shotgun. They'll snap it once again. Bad snap, able to pick it up, but not a lot there. Maybe another 2-yard pickup on the carry. It's back-to-back snaps gone awry for Sherman. Now that'll bring up 4th down and about 8 here for the Tide. 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Sherman definitely feeling as if they got no choice right now but to go for it with the way Danville's offense has been cooking. And Henderson hasn't been the one taking the snaps here at the start of the second half, so I'm not sure if he had an injury on that touchdown run to end the first half. They'll snap it back here as rushing near side, trying to find a corner, cutting up field, and not quite enough, it didn't appear. Looks like he was stopped, and that was Henderson on that carry. But brought down just a yard shy of the first down, and that'll be a turnover on downs. And Danville will take over with 3:34 to go here in the third quarter. Henderson was able to get it close to the first down. But now the Sherman defense back in the unenviable position of trying to slow down this Hawks offense. Belcher, who had the long run of 63 yards to set up the touchdown earlier in this half. Now comes the line of scrimmage on 1st and 10. So give it off to Ratliff, and he'll be brought down from behind after about a yard pickup. Ratliff had the first touchdown of the game. We still have one more game coming your way here this afternoon, as we have the A teams coming up about 10 or 15 minutes at the conclusion of this game on Video Productions. Again, that is the oldest division, the 10 and 11-year-olds. This is the youngest division with the 6 and 7-year-olds.
Captain Ari Markins. Captain Zadea Parsons.
Ratliff goes under center here on 2nd and 9. He'll give it off to Dawson Atkins. Atkins to the outside. He's got some room inside the 30. He's chased with the safety, and Atkins going to get ripped down from behind at about the 6-yard line, where it'll be 1st and goal to go here for Danville, as they once again rip off a huge chunk play to put themselves at the doorstep of yet another score. The Sherman player was a little shaken up on the play. They try and get him back towards the line of scrimmage now, as he appears to be all right.
Riley Huffman. Amy Roberts. Daisy Workman. And Alice Zorns. Let's give these girls a big hand.
We hit 1:40 to go here in the third quarter. Danville knocking on the door of potential another score here. Belcher gives it off, but it's fumbled into the line of scrimmage, and Sherman falls on top of it. So a huge break for Sherman. And that is the first stop of the day in either of the two games we've seen. It had been 6 for 6 for the B team for touchdowns. It was 5 for 5 for the C team, but that fumble gives Sherman a little bit of a pulse now with 1:26 to go in the third quarter. They trail at 34-14. Danville C team, they had a decisive win last week as well over Lincoln County. trying to make it back-to-back here on this homecoming day. Henderson, he loses the snap and has to fall on top of it. And again, it's another errant snap for Sherman here in the second half. They had 2 on the last possession, and now they have 1 to start this possession. So that'll be officially no gain on the play. So we've got the final minute ticking down now here in the third quarter.
No, I don't think so. I don't know how it works. I don't know if you I didn't know these refs have been multi-talking.
Henderson once again the shotgun. He'll keep it himself up the middle and didn't find a whole lot of real estate, as he may have gotten out to about the 5-yard line for a 1-yard pickup, as Sherman player slow to get up right now. So while they attend to the player down on the field, we'll step aside and be back after this here on Video Productions. Back to action now here with 20 seconds and counting in the third quarter, as Danville leads at 34-14. Sherman trying to get another play off here before the end of the third quarter as they face a 3rd and 9. They're down to 5 seconds left. This will be close. Danville just gets it off in time as they try and get to the outside. Almost tackled in the end zone for safety, but now getting out across the 10 to the 15, and that'll be enough for a first down. So Henderson, after almost taking the safety, able to end up with a first down, and that will end the third quarter. We'll be back for the start of quarter number 4 after this, as you're watching Danville Hawk Youth Football on Video Productions. Start of quarter number 4 here from Danville, West Virginia, as Sherman with the ball after the first down run by Henderson a moment ago. able to get Sherman out of their own territory, or at least deep out of their own territory as they were pinned inside the 5.
Tackled again by the Florida Hawks.
That'll be a pickup about 1 on the carry and bring up 2nd and 9. Sherman at the line of scrimmage. Again, Henderson has both touchdown runs today for the Tide. Snap back, try and hand it off, but Danville basically in the huddle with Sherman that time as he was met as soon as the handoff was given. Now that's going to bring up 3rd down and 11 after a loss of 2.
Tackle again by another flock of Hawks. Be 3rd down.
I forgot to put it on first.
Again, the A team's warming up down near the end zone area right now. Again, that game will start approximately 10 to 15 minutes at the conclusion of this game. And will be our final game this afternoon here from Scott High School. Sherman comes to the line of scrimmage now on 3rd down and 11. Take the snap from center and trying to get off to the left side, but that's going to get swallowed up as well. And that'll be a loss of a couple of yards. Going to bring up 4th down and about 13 now. Let's see what Sherman elects to do. Again, they're down 3 touchdowns with under 6 minutes to go. And this is a very unusual spot of the field to maybe try and go for it, but down 3 touchdowns, they don't have much of a chance otherwise. So they will come to the line of scrimmage here on 4th down. About 13 here for the Tide as we go under 5:20 to play in the 4th quarter. Henderson will take it off to the left tackle, trying to turn the corner as he cuts back inside, finds a little crease, still trying to break loose, but he's not going to, and that'll be another turnover on downs. And give the ball back over to Danville with under 5 minutes to play now.
Tackle for loss by another swarm of Hawks. 4th down conversion, no good. 1st down, Danville.
So now Danville will get the ball back. Already in the red zone after they fumbled inside the 5 a moment ago. Give Sherman the ball back. Now stand by the Danville defense. They've so far shut out Sherman here in the 2nd half. Side still getting situated as Sherman gets an extra man on here at the last second. Now Belcher will take the snap. He'll give it off to Ratliff off the right side. Inside the 10, gets out of a tackle, and he'll walk it into the end zone for a touchdown. And just as the B team did, the C team now has cracked 40 points here on the afternoon. So again, despite the fumble being the only drive they haven't scored on today, this Danville offense in the B or C team game have not been stopped by the opposing defense yet. Belcher under center for the two-point attempt. He'll take it to the outside, look to throw, now cuts back inside, but he runs into a wall of Sherman defenders, and two-point conversion is no good. But a 40-16 lead, or 40-14 lead for the Hawks with 4:46 to play. We'll be back after this break as you're watching Danville Hawk Youth Football on Video Productions. Sherman with the ball here, and first down. Quick little throw to the outside. That's incomplete. Tried to get it into Henderson's hands on the far side, but unsuccessful.
Second down.
Now Henderson a little slow to get up, but able to do so. So it'll be second down and 10 now for the Tide. Danville has outscored Sherman 12-0 here in the second half. After a 28-14 first half between these clubs. Snap it back once again, looking to the outside, almost intercepted. As pass from Van Noy a little too high. So that'll bring up third down and 10. Tide trying to switch some things up and see what they've got in their passing game right now. And, you know, when the game gets out of hand like this in the second half, it's not a bad time to start trying out new things just to see what maybe you've got for the next week. So far here today in either the B or C game, Sherman's defense just hasn't had any answers for the Danville offense.
No children, please, underneath the bleachers. Again, please, no children playing underneath the bleachers.
Now on third and 10, they'll snap it back to Van Noy. He'll keep it this time, coming near side. Ratliff gets a hold of him, and he'll bring him down for a loss back at about the 32-yard line. It's a good shoestring tackle by Jace Ratliff. That'll be a 3-yard loss. Now it'll bring up fourth down and 13 here for the Tide. They'll likely go for it once again. So we haven't seen a punt on either side in either game here today. Van Noy will get the snap, hands it off. Ball knocked loose though in the backfield, and Danville appears to fall on it back at the 25-yard line. Coming up with it was Hunter Maynor. And it'll be Danville football with exactly 2 minutes to go in the game.
Number 55, Hunter Maynor on the play. Fumble recovered by number 13, Hunter Maynor. First down, Hawks.
Now Danville has it with 2 minutes to go. In complete control right now as they're on their way to another win on this season. before they head on the road to Logan next week. What should be a good matchup between those two squads. Belcher gives the handoff to Lovejoy, tries to get to the corner. He's going to get there. Is there going to be anyone there to stop him once he turns? And at the moment, no, as Lovejoy gets to the end zone again today. And it is now 46-14 in favor of Danville, as the clock will continue to run now with it being a 30-plus point lead. Yeah, 42-0 win in the first game, now 46-14 here in the second game, as it's been an offensive onslaught by Danville here today. So likely run their final play of the afternoon now on the offensive side at least on this two-point conversion. This is the good thing about C-Team. You can just pick some of the players up and put them where you want to, as Ratliff wasn't where he's supposed to be, so they picked him up and moved him there. As dropping back, Belcher throws into the end zone, and this time it is converted as Lambert hangs on to it for the two-point conversion. And it's now 48-14 Danville as the clock continues to wind here, as we'll see if Sherman's able to get a play off or not, with the clock winding down right now. But I'd say Sherman will likely allow this clock to run out now, as both sides try and get out of here without any injuries. And just a tremendous performance by Danville yet again. They have outscored Sherman 90-14 in these two games today. And Sherman's going to call time for one more play. Well, I guess they want to see what they've got for one more play here. So. So Van Oil being at quarterback here on what should be the final play of the contest. As low snap, Van Noy picks it up, throws it, and going to be just a little short as time runs out. And that will do it here for this C-Team contest, as Danville routs Sherman 48-14. They went on homecoming, and now it's up to the A-team to see if they can get a clean sweep here this afternoon, as we'll step aside for about 10 or 15 minutes and come back for the start of our third and final game this afternoon from Danville, West Virginia. As you're watching Danville Hawk Youth Football right here on Video Productions.